Hello, Kung Fu Chai here. Today we're playing MTG Arena and I'm going to be playing a black enchantments deck. It's a bit different to your normal black decks in the fact of there's about 4 creatures if I'm remembering correctly, and they're all stone-coiled serpents. Everything else is all designed around basically the opponent does anything, they get punished for it. They do anything, I get rewarded for it. Kind of just the general theme that it's going for. It's like, as you can see in the open hand, we've got a Trespasser's Curse, they play a creature, I get rewarded for it. Elspeth's Nightmare, get rid of some small creatures. The main thing that we want is that second ability, which lets us just rip something from the hand. Got a Cosmos Elixir, I gain health, it's a bonus, but it's more just the card draw to keep digging through, to keep applying pressure for the, basically the compounding effect. Got Dogged Pursuit. I end my turn, they take damage. Vengeant Ravens, they attack me, they take damage. And then an Exquisite Blood as well, so any sort of damaging effect on them is healing for me. So I have a Revenger Ravens out, they attack me with a 1-1, no life change in total, because I lose a life, I gain a life, they lose a life. So if anything, they're going down. But with Exquisite Blood, they attack me with a 1-1, I gain a life, they lose a life, then I gain another life, so I'm going up life and they're going down life still. So let's just see how this plays out. I want to get rid of that Soul Warden because it's just going to be a bitch, because I don't like a Johnny's Bindmate, it's a dick, for lack of a better term. Not in the best position here. I just realised I've not got sound, do I? That's a bit better. Not asked about creatures. Exquisite Blood. Yeah, get rid of that though. Maybe just adjust the volume a teensy bit more. Yeah, that's looking alright, and the equalizer. So, my turn. They can remove 2 counters, because they're hateful that. Heartless that. No, 3 counters, fuck. I suppose if anything it'll bait the Heartless Act out, which makes no difference to me because I'm not playing creatures. Yep, that's exactly what I wanted them to do. That means the game state is not getting advanced. Saying that neither's mine, but I'm kind of mana screwed at the moment. Still mana screwed, it's not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm gonna have to just pass there, unfortunately. Ooh, is this working again? It is working. Ah, that's nice. As you can see, I've got a nice 50% chance of land, and I've just drawn a swamp. So, let's see. Revenger Ravens is probably going to help me out the most there, because I'm going to be gaining 2 and dealing 2. Whereas the only other thing that come close would be Cosmos Elixir, but next turn, stack another Revenger Ravens on, and that might just help me survive a little bit. They're dealing 10 again. Yeah, I do believe I am fucked. Yeah, no. Can't win this. So, I'm just gonna GG concede. So, not the best opening game really, but let's try again on the second one. We found a game against Isatis. Quite a lot of people using that Warhold Elephant as their profile picture. Avatar, that's the word, not profile picture. Yeah, go on. Got enough for ravens, and that's enough to make most decks worry. 2 ravens, however, that'll make a lot more decks worry. Let's see what he's gonna do. Yeah, I can deal with that. Put this out, don't have a turn 2 play, so I may as well deck thin slightly. Turn 3, probably going to Elsbeth, yep. Is not too fussed about that first one, 2 power or less, I'm basically stopping them attacking Revenge of Ravens. It's like I said, it's the second counter that I like, because I get to see what they've got and just get rid of shit, so doesn't matter. Them two don't really matter. Look off for your Embercleave. Oh, what's that? Minotaur. Cool. Cause wait, does he have haste? He does have haste, yeah. Let's throw the Revenge Ravens out first. Just give him a bit of backlash on an attack. So let's pull another swamp out. Darky Pursuit, put him on a timer. And that's pretty much what the whole gist of this deck's about. It's put them on a timer and make them have to make some uncomfortable decisions on attacking and whatnot. Because like, he's just attacked me, he's done more damage to himself there. This is just gonna compound and carry on with all the different Revenge of Ravens that I'm gonna keep playing. And then hopefully some other spicy shit. I'd count that as some spicy shit. Yeah, let's venture. Do quite like this Tomb of Annihilation. Nice and easy to get through, and it gives me a big body on board, which won't really matter. But it's more just the damage dealing that it does. Unless they discard. Like, did it discard, or are they just going to take damage here? Who knows? No, I'm going to lose 2 life, but no, the discard. Morag. He can't attack me now. He attacks me twice, he's dead. He doesn't attack me, he's dead. He's dead. See? Puts them in some uncomfortable positions and they have to make demands up on what they want to kill them. Right, we've got another game here against Dana Hapunkt. I apologise because I've probably just butchered that name. Yeah, that's alright. Got a mana rock which will get me up to 4 mana. I've got Ivek for card draw. Don't need any initial if turn 2. Well, turn 1 I should say, so crack this, just deck thin a little. That could be problematic if they're playing goblins. Because really I need those Revenge of Ravens. Or Trespasser's Curse. Trespasser's Curse is pretty good against goblins when they go wide, but it's when they're stringing like Muxus or something, it's like shit. No. So I can use the Elsbeth to get rid of that. And just hopefully slow him down a bit if you're doing all goblin-y shit. What's he gonna do? You know what? I can deal with that. That's they are making a literal fuck ton of tokens, so let's just ramp a little. But what's that? Deals 3 damage to target creature square 1. Put 1 counter on. See if I can bait that out. It's quite cool mountain art, that actually. I haven't noticed that one before. No. Get this out, and then all of our heal effects will start. Sorry, heal. All of our deal effects will start healing. Yeah, I'll let that one go through. Come on, something good. Hey, that's pretty much exactly what we wanted, really. Is he going to greet my serpent? That's the only thing he can do unless that's something interesting. Yeah, I ain't mad. Do I throw that out there? Yeah, fuck it. I'll do it for 2 so then I can like block some little ones. Currently his win condition is making him nice and big. Yeah, go on. Yeah, that's not what I want. That, however, that's kind of quite useful. First we shall venture. You know what, do that. Because that lose life ain't gonna matter to me. And next turn, block his Krinko with Stone Coil, and I can start whacking down stuff like Sanctum and Dogged Pursuit. Because I want to race through that to get the 4/4 Death Toucher to take out him. So first things first, gonna venture. Get rid of Stone Fangs because it doesn't stack and Lighthood is going to draw into another one. But if we deal 2 to him, that'll heal 2 to us. Yep. And then I'm just going to heal me and deal him. So this is where like the deck starts to come together because he can't attack with a load of stuff and go wide, otherwise he's going to deal damage to him. And my turn, deal damage to him. Every time I'm dealing damage to him, it's healing me. So I think I've got 2 more on the dungeon, and then... Oh, actually I could just Stone Coil. I forgot I've got 6, 7, 8. Yeah, fuck it, Stone Coil for 8. Because he's on a timer regardless because of the Dogged Pursuit. and he's going to need a big damage. Yep, that is a game 1. So yeah, this is the deck basically. Got one Warlock class because like lower levels don't really put in too much work because, you know, not got too many creatures dying. Level 2 useful for just getting some pieces for combos that needed, and level 3 is really where it hits home, but the high mana cost for it doesn't come up too often, but when it does it can just seal a game. So really running one of that. Stone Coil, it's just fucking versatile. Protection from multicolored, reach, trample, and it can be as big or as small as you want. So your mana flooded, big Stone Coil. Your mana screwed, little Stone Coil. Just enough to get you by whatever the issue is until you can start working with your 3-4 cost cards, and then ideally Exquisite Blood if you want to just add that little bit extra. Stone Fangs, run it as a 4 of, just then you see it really, because get a multiple in hand don't really matter, because ideally you're going to be drawing multiple cards a turn, so doesn't matter if like that's your one turn, your initial draw turn, and you've already got one out, because you'll still be able to like add advantage with the extra draws that you're going to get. Trespassers Curses, like I said, just to punish the opponent for doing anything, so it's like you play a creature, you lose a life. Multiple of them stacked together, you play say like a 3-3, you're gaining more life than you're going to be able to deal with it, at least for one turn. So it just makes them like a bit wary of what they want to do. I have Vecna, only running one of it because, well, I've only got one of it for now, and I don't know, I like it because you can be a lot versatile with card draw and that, but I also don't like the life cost, because ideally you're playing it like towards the beginning of the game, and it's towards the beginning of the game which is when you're struggling the most, because late game you've got that many different cards out dealing damage, healing, dealing, you can pay 2 life with no thinking. But at the beginning it's a bit like, do I want to play it? So I'm only playing one of it for now. Elspeth's Nightmare, I'm only playing 2 of it because primarily like the thing that everyone usually gets excited about, the destroy creature and the exile graveyard, don't really give a shit about. It's the target opponent reveals the hand and you just rip something out of the hand. That's the fun thing, because it gives you a bit of knowledge of what you're playing against for 1, and for 2 you can slow down some games, which helps in the matchups, which like I said, it's the beginning early game where this deck struggles the most. Underworld Dreams, it just puts a counter on your opponent. The 3 black pips don't really matter too much because like the majority of lands in this deck are black. I think there's like 1 or 2 mana producing things that aren't, but he just puts them on a timer, and then like I said, multiple of them out, you're dealing multiple damage. You've got say Exquisite Blood out, you're healing more, like a lot of damage. Warlock class, it doesn't come into account too often because they're not drawing too often on your turn, but it does happen sometimes. Dungeon Map, just run it as a 1-off because it's a nice little mana rock to like bump up to the 4 and 5 cost cards, which like I said, where the majority of the deck lies. I primarily like it for Team of Annihilation because each player loses a life. It doesn't really matter to you because if you have, I keep forgetting what it's called, Exquisite Blood out, you're just going to heal that damage straight back, so nothing to you, 1-2 enemy. Veil of Fear, each opponent loses 2 life unless they discard a card. You can discard a card if you've got multiple of your Stone Fangs, because that's not going to matter, but if not, you can just take the 2, because most time your opponents will either discard a card, which is advantage to you, or they'll take the damage, which like I said, if you have Exquisite Blood, heals you back up. Sandfall Cell, same thing again. Don't tend to go the oubliette effect, because sacrifice a creature, artifact and land. Creature doesn't really matter, discard a card doesn't really matter, land doesn't really matter. It's more the artifact that you're after, because more often than not this is like one of I think 4 different artifacts that are running deck, and you don't ideally want to be sacrificing any of them because they're all very good to just create like an awkward lock for your opponent to play through. And then Cradle of the Death God, that's where it just gets like the real fuck you sort of thing, because it's you're playing against like a big creature deck with like, against going wide decks you're fine because you've got the Trespasser's Curse, and then you've got Revenge of Ravens as well. But against like a big go tall deck, your Death Touch God can just deal with that. Dogged Pursuit, it's just good and fairly symmetrical because you gain the life that they lose, so slows them down, speeds you up. Again, Exquisite Blood, Warlock class, just speeds up even faster, multiple of them even better. Hand of Knight's Reach, only running one of it because the card discard doesn't really help win the game, but it puts your opponent in positions where they have to pick and choose between what they want to do, and what they want to do is more often not going to deal damage to them regardless, so I've had quite a lot of games where opponents have just conceded from a Hand of Knight's Reach, or even just a Sanctum and a Honden, because discarding 2 cards each turn does add up very fast and can ruin game plans. Ill-Gotten Inheritance, it's basically a more expensive Stonefangs, but it can stack because it's not got the legend rule. And also you've got that 6 mana ability where if you've just got that last little push that you need, or you've figured it all out in your head and done the maths, you can just go, I'm winning this game. Avenger Ravens, it stops opponents attacking with small creatures, get 4 of them on the field, it stops them attacking with like medium creatures. If they're stubborn and they want to attack, they're going to be dealing more damage to themselves than you. Cosmo Elixir, this is an important one, because when you get it out and it's working, it's fucking brilliant. Even when it's not really working, it's still pretty good, because you're gaining life, which slows your opponent down, which is always good. If you've got over 20 life, however, you're going to be drawing cards, which means that you're going to be able to speed up your game plan, dig through your deck faster, and start playing like more impactful stuff. So say you're playing against a Go Wide deck, you can dig for Avenger Ravens or a Trespasser's Curse. You're going against a deck that draws a lot, you can dig for a bit for an Underworld Dreams. Just gets you what you want there. Also, like if you're playing against Flyers, Stonecoil Serpent, it's just very versatile and very good for how much it costs. And running 2 Exquisite Blood as well, just to, like I said, basically add that little flames under defeat sort of thing, because the deck's already primarily meant to put your opponent on timer. Exquisite Blood makes it even harder for your opponent to win, because they're going to be trying to deal as much damage to you as possible, but as you're doing that, you're just chipping away at them, and every little chip heals you back up. Onto the lands. We've got 4 Lochthwain, I think that's how you pronounce it. Primarily for the 3 mana tap ability, because draw a card, lose life. Don't really matter, because once you've just like played all your hand out and you're left with like nothing in hand, because your cards, it's pointless holding cards up when you can play them with this deck. It lets you just dig through your deck faster to more cards to add more damage on, add more heal on. Swamp, running 24 of them. It's not really the most, what's the word? Optimised decks. It is a 72 card deck, but couldn't decide where to cut stuff, and just more stuff kept coming out, which made me want to add it, like Warlock's class, Dungeon Map, and Eye of Vecna. So 24 lands just to kind of like even it out, so then you get to that nice 4 mana, which is the ideal what you're wanting. Any extra mana, it's gravy. You can go into a Vecna, you can go into a Stonecoil, you can go into an Ill-Gotten or a Dungeon Map, because you'll always have some sort of output for the mana regardless. Crawling Barons, just to add like a bit of a creature that can go big, because in case you can't get your Death Touching God out with Dungeon Map, you kind of want something to be able to have a chance to deal with like big creatures. Because say they get come on Brian, let's think what it's called, an Elder Gargaroth out, it's a bit awkward because it's big, and unless you sink a load of mana into your Stonecoil, you don't really have an out to it, so other than like just hoping they die. So Crawling Barons just gives you something you can just add a little bit more in, add a little bit more in. It's a land, so it dodges quite a lot of protection, and then it can become a creature when you need it to. And Fabled Passage is just for consistency, because you can dig through your deck, 4 more lands, untap it, brilliant. Less than 4, you play it on turn 1, unless you've got like a Warlock class or you wanting to do a Stonecoil on turn 1, don't matter too much. Same for 3, 2, it's only when it gets to 4 which is when you want it untapped, which is when it would come untapped anyway. So very little downside, and like I said, deck thinning, just consistency for getting your lands. So yeah, that's the deck, and thank you for watching.